Hello ladies and gentlemen, Scared204 here bringing you another Minecraft Modern Warfare vehicle tutorial. And this tutorial will be going ahead and building the Type 96 wheeled armored personnel carrier. The Type 96 is a armored vehicle that entered service with Japan in 1996. This vehicle complements the existing fleet of tracked Type 73 armored personnel carriers already in service. The vehicle itself is pretty cool. It's kind of your standard APC really. It's just a 8-wheeled version. I guess you can kind of compare that to the BTR except without the turret. But it's an interesting build and just kind of a nice one to add to our ever-growing line of Asian military vehicles. And of course, hopefully we'll continue to see this lineup expand. Now, before we go ahead and take a look at this build, I do want to go ahead and give a special thanks to the person that commissioned this build, and that's going to be Derek Frost Westbrook. If you guys are interested in commissioning builds for yourselves, definitely feel free to reach out to me on my email, garrett204@gmail.com, where you can go ahead and submit a commission and discuss pricing and all that stuff. So definitely something to check out if you are interested in going that route. Anyways, though, with that, let's go ahead and dive in here to taking a quick look at the Type 96. It's a pretty straightforward vehicle, so we'll be pretty quick. As I mentioned, this is an 8-wheeled vehicle, so an 8x8, 8 all-wheel drive vehicle. We have the front up here, which has the top of the engine, or the kind of vents over the engine bay, and then you have the basically driver's viewport section located there. On the sides, just really kind of straightforward, nothing too fancy going on, just some vents, and we have some viewports here in the basically crew cab, I guess you can say, or the crew, or the troop bay, whatever you want to call it. Up on top here we have a little cupola, which this one here is equipped with the 50 caliber machine gun. This could also be outfitted with a 40mm grenade launcher, but for us we're going to be doing the 50 cal. And again, over here on the side, really nothing too fancy. So pretty straightforward build, and then here is the back of it, like so. So that is pretty much it for the overview for the Type 96, and with that, we'll go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer. Alright guys, so moving into our first layer, we'll be moving into layer number 1. For layer 1, to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down 2 polished blackstone stairs. They're going to be back to back, just like this. After that, we're going to place down a polished deep slate tile top slab, a dark oak trapdoor, another top slab, and then another 2 polished blackstone stairs back to back. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and place down another 2 polished blackstone stairs back to back, 1 block back from the first axle we set up there, a polished deep slate top slab, a dark oak trapdoor, another top slab, and then another 2 stairs back to back. We're going to go ahead and then skip an airspace of 1 back, place down 2 polished blackstone stairs back to back here, upside down. And then we're going to place down our deep slate tile top slabs to both sides here and a dark oak trapdoor in between them. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing one more time. So again, skip a space of 1 and our 2 polished blackstone upside down stairs back to back, a top slab of deep slate between the 2, and a dark oak trapdoor to go ahead and finish it off there for the build. So, or finish it off for our first layer. So really straightforward stuff there for the first layer. Again, here's an overview of what that will look like. And once you have that all set up, that is going to complete that layer, and we'll move on to our next one, layer number 2. Moving into our next layer, we go ahead and move it into layer 2. For layer 2 to start with, we're going to place down 2 polished blackstone brick stairs back to back on each one of our sets of wheels. So we should have a total of 8 of these once complete. And you're just going to go and take this around the entire build. And just like that, we have it all done and good to go. Now once that's done, we're going to go ahead and place down a green terracotta block on those dark oak trapdoors, and then to the sides of them, we're going to place down some polished deep slate walls. So again, you're just going to do that to each side there. On the front here, we're going to place down a green terracotta block in the center, and then a dark prismarine top slab to the 2 sides. We're going to go ahead and place down a row of 3 of top slabs, and then after that row of 3, we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak trapdoor to the sides. Coming off the two slabs to the sides, we're going to place down item frames, and then a tripwire hook in the item frame, rotated to face downwards just like that. Once that's done, we're going to place down another row of green terracotta across this space here with a dark prismarine top slab to the sides. We're going to go ahead and then place down another set of 3 of green terracotta, so 3 rows of 3, and then another dark prismarine top slab to the sides. After that, we're going to place down another row of 3 across in between this middle space here and a dark prismarine top slab to both ends. On the back here, we're going to place down a row of 3 of green terracotta, and then a second row of 3. That second row of 3, we're going to go ahead and then place down a dark prismarine top slab to the 2 sides. And then we're going to place down green stained glass panes across those 3 green terracotta blocks. We're also going to go ahead and take a banner here, and we're going to go ahead and be using a black banner, and we're just going to do a green line across the top horizontally, that top third of the banner, and you'll do that for 2 banners, and you'll have it on both sides like that for representing the mud flaps there for the vehicle. And then for our wheels, I like to go ahead and do this little detail here with these banners, and basically what we're going to do here is we're going to take 2 black banners, we're going to go ahead and do a green line going vertically on one side of the banner for one, and then a line going vertically on the left side of the other. It's going to be that line that splits the banner in kind of a third. So you have a third here. It's not exactly in half, but that smaller line. And then you're just going to take your black horizontal or black die and do 2 horizontal lines across the top and bottom for each banner, and you'll get a design that looks like this here. But then you're just going to take these banners and put them on the sides here of these polished black stone stairs with the green portion facing toward each other. And that is just going to go ahead and help shape up the wheel here, and I think it just adds some nice little detail to the wheels and just gives them a little bit more of a wheel look. Anyways, though, that is going to complete everything we have for layer 2. Let's move on to layer number 3. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 3. For layer 3 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a row 3 of green terracotta across the space here, and then a row 3 of green stained glass panes, and then a green stained glass pane to both sides of that row 3. We're going to then place down an item frame coming off that green stained glass pane with a snowball in the item frame for the front headlights. After that, we're going to take our polished deep slate walls, and we're just going to place down a wall on top of each one of these like this, going up for the suspension of the vehicle. And then taking our green terracotta, we're going to place down a row 3 here, 1 block in between each one of these walls. And then the remaining space here, again, just rows of 3 of green terracotta, filling this whole space in down the middle. So just like that. And our 2 rows of 3 on the back. Now once that's done, we're going to go ahead and place down another green terracotta block to the sides here. We're going to follow that up with an item frame on the sides of those blocks. And then in that item frame, we're going to place down a orange concrete block. And we'll also go ahead and take a dark liquid sign. And if you're on Java, we'll place a dark liquid sign on the side there of that green terracotta block. After that, we're going to go ahead and then need to grab some dark prismarine stairs. We're going to place down a dark prismarine upside down stair here in the front, and then a top slab going back from those stairs. We're going to place down another top slab going back on both sides, and then again a upside down stair to the sides there, like so. We then want to place down another green terracotta block to both sides, another dark prismarine upside down stair, and another top slab going back, then a green terracotta block to both sides, and then a tripwire hook on both sides of this green terracotta block here. We're going to place down a top slab going back, and then a upside down dark prismarine stair here on the back, and then a green terracotta block going off the back of the stairs. We then want to place down a mossy cobblestone wall that's going to come off these 2 blocks here, an item frame coming off those walls, and then we just want to go ahead and place down a red bed in those item frames and rotate it sideways so the pillow is facing toward the middle. After that's done, we're going to take some dark liquid signs, place a sign here on the side of these walls, like so, and if you're on Java, we'll place a sign also on the side of the wall along with the item frame. We're going to go then place down a row 3 of green stained glass panes across the middle to fill that space in. Once that's all done, that's going to complete everything we have for layer 3, and with that, we'll go ahead and move on to layer number 4. Next layer, we'll be moving into layer number 4. For layer 4 to start with, we're going to place down a row of daily detectors across the space here, and then a row 2 of dark prismarine slabs, followed by a deep slate tile slab on the other side. Once we have that done, we're going to take our nether brick walls. We're going to place down 2 walls here, and then a dark prismarine slab on the right side. And then on the other side here, we're going to place down a piston. So if you're on Java, if you're not on Java, I'd probably just place down an end portal frame, and then next to it an end portal frame. Behind this, we're going to take our green terracotta, and we're just going to place down a row of 3 across. And then on the sides here, we're going to place down an end portal frame to both sides. Actually, sorry, on the right side, on the left side here, it's going to be a green terracotta block. So it's going to look like this here. On the side of the end portal frame, we're going to place down a dark liquid sign. And we're going to then go back from the end portal frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're going to go and take dark liquid signs and place them along the side here of the first 2. And then we're going to have an item frame here. In that item frame, we're going to place down a black bed sideways. And then another dark liquid sign. And then again, we're going to go ahead and place down 1 dark liquid sign, item frame, black bed. If you're on Java, dark liquid sign. And then along the rest of the end portal frames, dark liquid signs. So like that there. On the other side, we're going to go ahead and place down 2 of our deep slate tile blocks, and then a green terracotta block, and then a second green terracotta block, and then we're going to go ahead and take our end portal frames and place down a total of 6 back along the side there. We'll place a dark oak wood sign on the first one, an item frame again with a black bed sideways on the second one with a dark oak wood sign if you're on Java, another dark oak wood sign, item frame again, and then a dark oak wood sign if you're on Java again, and then 2 more signs to bring us to the back there. Then coming off the portal frames, we're going to place down a zombie head like so. And in the space here in the middle, we're just going to take green terracotta blocks and just fill in the space across from the middle here, going all the way down the center of the build. So really simple, and it will bring us back to here, in which we're just going to place down a row of 3 of green stained glass panes across the back. Once that's all done, that's going to wrap up everything we have there for layer 4. And actually, one quick thing we're going to throw on here is going to be the addition of a zombie head on these glass panes, and we're going to go and do it at a very slight angle like that for some of our shaping. And also we'll take our debug stick, and if you're on Java, this can be obtained by typing the command /give at p minecraft:/debug_stick. So this command right here, and pressing enter will give you this glowing stick. We'll then just right click this piston and you'll get rid of that wood portion, and it kind of helps with our sloping and keeps that gray color, which we're trying to do for the vents. Anyways, though, that is going to wrap up everything we have for layer 4, and we'll be moving on to our last final layers. Moving into our last final layers, we have layers 5 through 9. For these layers to start with, we're going to place down 2 daylight detectors on top of these 2 narrow brick walls, and behind those we're going to place down redstone repeaters that are going to be facing this direction here. On the other side here, on this green terracotta block, we're going to place down an item frame and then a green terracotta block in that item frame. Then we want to go ahead and place down item frames on these 2 blocks here, and we're going to go ahead and then place down an iron bar in each of those item frames like that for some vents. Once that's done, we want to go ahead and then take our zombie heads. We're going to place down a zombie head here at a slight angle like that to both sides, and we then want to go ahead and place down 2 dark prismarine slabs like this going back. Once you have that done, we're going to go ahead and then take our mossy cobblestone walls, and we're going to place down 2 rows of 3 of mossy cobblestone walls, and we're going to place down item frames here on the sides and also across the back here. Then we'll just take our dark oak wood, or our black beds, and we'll place them sideways in those item frames, wrapped around like this. And again, same thing on the back here, which I messed up, so we'll go and fix that real quick. So just like that. Then we just want to go and take our dark oak wood signs, and we're going to place them here around the walls here, again if you're on Java. After that, we want to go ahead and then grab ourselves some dark oak trapdoors, and we're going to place down 2 trapdoors here next to those item frames, and then on top here, we're going to place down 2 trapdoors here for the time being. We're going to go and mess with that machine gun here in a second. We also want to go ahead and place down 2 daylight detectors across this space here, and then taking our dark oak trapdoors, we're going to place down 1, 2 here, 1, 2, skip a space, another 2, like that on both sides as well. Once we have that done, we want to go ahead and then place down a flower pot on top of these 2 blocks, and we're going to go ahead and go 2 end rods back from those flower pots. We're going to go ahead and then place down another flower pot on both sides, and again 2 end rods back on both sides. On the very back here, we're going to place down a dark oak fence post on top of those zombie heads, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4 iron bars up, and same thing over here. Once that's done, we're going to take our end rods and place down a row of 3 of end rods in between those fence posts. Now that's going to basically complete the main body here of the vehicle, and at this point in time, we also want to go ahead and real quickly swap out this flower pot here for a wither skeleton skull, so it's going to look like that. Now when it comes to the machine gun, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some polished blackstone, some wither skeleton skulls, some dark oak wood signs, a item frame, a black bed, a end rod, and a chain. Now for this, we're going to place down a polished blackstone slab on top of this wall here, and then when we're going forward, we're going to go then place down wither skeleton skull on the back and 2 dark oak wood signs on the side here, a item frame on the side of this one if you're on Java, and a black bed sideways in it. We're going to go ahead and place down an end rod forward and then a chain like that, and then we just want to go ahead and place down a grindstone coming off the side of this slab like so, and that's going to complete your machine gun there up on top. The very last thing here is going to be the side mirrors, and this here is going to basically, again, kind of depend on what version of Minecraft you're playing on. For us, for non-Java players, I'd recommend a dark oak with fence gate coming off this zombie head, and then we're going to place down a zombie head on top of that fence gate, like so. So you have the zombie, or you have the fence gate open up toward that zombie head, and zombie head on top of that fence gate to create that side mirror. If you're on Java and do have the debug stick, we can go ahead and build a block out to the side, and in that space here, we're going to place down a lever. And then we're going to take our debug stick, we're going to left click this till we get selected facing, and we're going to rotate this around till it comes off that zombie head just like that. And then on top of that lever, we'll place down a zombie head on top of there. So it'll look like that there for basically the two sides, depending on what version you're building this on. And that right there is going to conclude my tutorial here for the Type 96 Armored Personnel Carrier. If you guys do end up using this design, do I say guys give me proper credit for it? This can be anything from a sound of the build, link to my channel or this video if this does appear on your social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for the build, you're free as for projects you guys are working on and all that fun stuff. Again, a big thanks to Derek Frost Westbrook for commissioning this build. And if you guys are interested in commissioning a build for yourself, feel free to reach out to me on my email that I mentioned before, and we can go ahead and get you set up with a commission of your choice. With that, though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Gear 2x4, and I'll see you guys next time.